a live interview with a newly elected town council member, how Josh Stein and Mark Robinson reacted to the election, updates on national results, and what North Carolina is doing to continue hurricane recovery. Coming up on Carolina Week.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Isha Patanaik.
And I'm Bethany Pryor. The voters have spoken. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. Our Humsani Sivakumar is in studio today with an analysis of the race to 270.
Yes, thank you, Bethany. This is what the map looks like this morning. Let me explain this. There's a lot of red going on. The red states are the states that Donald Trump has officially won. Blue states are states that Harris has officially won. And you'll notice there's a couple pink states in there. Those are some of the swing states, and they are leaning Trump. But let's talk about what it took to get Donald Trump to 277, which was the amount of electoral votes that won him the presidency. So these are key swing states: Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania are specifically part of the blue wall traditionally, but they have all flipped to red, and these three states make a combined 44 electoral votes. Georgia and North Carolina, which were both called for Trump last night, have a total of 32 electoral votes. So these swing states matter a lot, and every single swing state in this election did swing towards red. Donald Trump also won 51% of the popular vote. So where do we stand specifically in North Carolina, which is a very big battleground state? Donald Trump got 2,875,538 votes in North Carolina, which is 51.1% of the vote. Harris got 2,683,995 votes, which was 47.7% of the votes. Third-party candidates also received 0.8% of the total votes, with Jill Stein getting over 24,000 and Chase Oliver getting over 21,000. Locally, so if we're talking the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area, which would be Orange County, Durham County, and Chatham County, they all went blue. And it's important to note when we talk about North Carolina and the battleground states that even though we do consider North Carolina a battleground state, the last time it went blue was in 2008, which means it has gone red in the last 3 elections. And we also have to talk about the governor's race, which was called last night. Josh Stein has won the governor's race with 54.8% of the vote. Let's look at this. This area is is Chapel Hill, Durham, Raleigh, and it went blue, and it seems to be that the major cities also went blue, so Asheville, Boone, Charlotte, and this is what brought Stein to 54.8. Stein spoke at his rally after he won. This is what he said.
And if I didn't earn your vote in this election, I hope to earn your trust by working hard for you as your governor.
When we're looking at this state, it's important to know that not every race was not every race had this much of a margin. A lot of the races were a lot closer, but Stein did take an early lead and hold it. And you could tell at the Democratic Watch Party, it was brought to life. Roy Cooper spoke at events last night, and Josh Stein also spoke. But that doesn't mean that we didn't get voices from the other side. Mark Robinson supporters also spoke about what they think is what they're going to take from this election and what they're thinking about in the future.
And after the beginning of the year, I'm going to spend some time with my grandchildren. They are getting older, and so am I.
Hats were handed out to supporters as they awaited Robinson's response to the election. Robinson's supporters showed that although the results didn't go their way, they are going to keep their heads high.
Disappointed with the apparent outcome at the moment, but not totally giving up until the last vote is turned in and counted. We've been working hard for years, and we just don't give up that easily.
That's just one of many races. Isha, what's going on with the Attorney General's race?
Yeah, we saw several results in the Attorney General's race. Jeff Jackson won with 2,842,292 votes and 51.33% of the vote. In the superintendent's race, Mo Green won with 51.09% of the vote, which was 2,805,973 votes. Even though Democrats had several state victories, Harris was still not able to flip the state in the presidential race. The North Carolina citizens-only referendum passed with around 78% of the vote, according to unofficial election results. The referendum proposed by North Carolina Republicans removes the clause stating that naturalized citizens specifically have the right to vote, instead of just saying citizens have the right to vote. This does not change any current laws. All citizens, naturalized or not, would still have the right to vote. This could potentially confuse naturalized citizens, making them question if they have the right to vote. This also closes any interpretation allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections following its legalization in some instances in San Francisco and the District of Columbia. Well, Cristobal Palmer will be part of the Carrboro Town Council after winning 77.46% of the vote. He is here now to talk with our reporter Bethany Pryor.
Now we're going to shift gears and focus more on local elections. I'm here with newly elected Carrboro Town Council member Cristobal Palmer. Mr. Palmer, what were you feeling last night?
I allowed myself a little time to reflect on the campaign and celebrate with some friends, family, supporters, other local elected officials who dropped by to congratulate me. I think we have a lot to be proud of here in North Carolina, and that crosses party. We're a purple state, and I'm really looking forward to getting to work and helping to make this bright blue little spot of the triangle even better.
Awesome. And our questionnaire, you mentioned that your platform was built on 4 pillars: equitable transportation, climate justice, anti-racist learning, and affordable housing. What specific policies or plans do you plan to implement now that you're in office?
So the Carrboro Connects Comprehensive Plan was recently adopted by Carrboro, and coming up we have a review of our land use ordinance, and we're going to have several updates there that are going to affect all of those areas of my platform. So whether you're looking to build more housing or you're looking to open a business, you are governed by Carrboro's land use ordinance. And so we have to imagine what sort of future we want for Carrboro and make sure that the policies that we enact actually give us that opportunity to move forward.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited that you were able to come in today. So thank you so much. Isha?
Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. Phyllis Porty-Ascott won the Orange County Commissioner's race in District 2 with 74.78% of the vote. We called this election last night. This position is responsible for the annual budget, setting property tax rates, ensuring the safety of residents, and much more in the local community. Well, we've talked about most of the local elections, but after the break.
But it makes it very hard for me to decide if I'm voting this year or not.
Western North Carolina residents skipped the ballot. One woman keeps her community fed after going.
Vegan option, the non-vegan option.
One woman keeps her community fed after going through both Helene and Katrina.
Hi everybody, my name is John. Today we'll be doing a presentation. Over here. Thank you. Okay, so you can see
Welcome back to Carolina Week. Isha, it looks pretty sunny outside. There's some people wearing shorts. I heard it's supposed to get to 80 degrees today.
No, I know, it's crazy. I'm not feeling this fall weather yet, and I heard it's supposed to rain, but North Carolina has seen enough of that this year. One area in particular is, of course, western part of the state. That part has just had a record-breaking voter turnout while rebuilding from Hurricane Helene. Even if it meant polling sites were intense, the show went on for Election Day. Election officials say there was a record-breaking voter turnout for early voting. 59% of registered voters voted early in the election. That's 2% higher than the state average. Of course, this call to the polls was not true for everyone. As Nora Ward, who lives in the city, says she's discouraged from believing in government support.
I don't understand where they were. They left us here to fend for ourselves. And with the coming election, and I've not made it this political, it makes it really hard to decide to vote.
We followed up with Ward twice earlier this week, but she wasn't available to tell us if she changed her decision.
The Concert for Carolina, hosted by Eric Church and Luke Combs, raised $24.5 million for Western North Carolina. The money is now being distributed to different relief organizations in Western NC. North Carolina is continuing to recover from Hurricane Helene. Efforts like these are very important to the recovery. Now, Dave Matthews Band is hosting a benefit concert called Soul Shine at Madison Square Garden on November 24th. The funds will go to relief efforts in Western North Carolina and Florida from Helene and Milton.
Well, a very big donation coming in for Western North Carolina. The North Carolina Relief Fund now has $300,000 from Taiwan, according to the Office of Governor Roy Cooper. The money will go to North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund, and Cooper called the donation heartwarming. The governor's office emphasized North Carolina's significant Taiwanese population and similar experiences with typhoons as motivations for the donation.
While many large organizations say they're leaving Western North Carolina, local volunteers offer their own strengths to help rebuild.
You need 3 today?
Chef Katie Gowan is offering Cuban comfort food picadillo tonight. And yesterday
was Taiwanese.
Thailand food, wasn't it?
she specializes in diverse cuisines with natural ingredients for all diets, which post-hurricane can taste like heaven.
Everything that I do is gluten-free, dairy-free. There's always vegan options.
Gowan is a self-taught professional chef who worked at one of Asheville's restaurants until Hurricane Helene closed down their service. When the storm hit, her background living through Hurricane Katrina made her envision a new purpose.
It was all food that was not safe for me or my family to eat. So we were reliant on stuff that was in cans or, dry foods.
Her new role allows her to connect with the community, serving up to 200 meals on a busy day and 35 on the coldest. She works 6 days a week, hands out all her extra food, and buys groceries on her day off.
Tell him I said hi, and I'm so glad that the puppy is doing better.
She says she wants to keep this going as long as she's supported financially, and asks outsiders to understand the longevity of the recovery process.
It's going to be a long time before we bounce back from this. It could be years. And my biggest concern, especially for the people of Swannanoa, is that we're going to get forgotten. The word needs to go out. People need to be aware of what's going on.
You can donate to Gowan directly at her PayPal or Cash App. She also recommends shopping local Asheville this holiday season. In Swannanoa, I'm Samantha Hoffman, Carolina Week.
Gowan says residents can stay updated on local offerings at the Friends of Swannanoa Facebook group.
Well, that is so kind. Truly, I really do hope this donation helps them out. As we said earlier, the weather is looking kind of hot today, seeing that we are in November and that rainfall is coming for the remainder of the week. But I heard Friday is going to be a little bit better. Spencer is here with us talking sports. Spencer, do you think this weather is going to help?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we've got quite the week of Carolina athletics to talk about. Carolina basketball is back. We've got postseason action in both soccer and field hockey, and we've got more honors for the football team. We'll tell you all about it when we come back right after this.
Thanks for sticking with us. Now let's hear from Sports Extra Spencer Haskell with what's happening this week in Carolina athletics.
Thanks, Bethany. Now it is no secret that Carolina basketball is back, and let's head over to Carmichael Arena where the 15th ranked women's team tipped off their season Monday as they took on the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. The Heels were able to get out to an early lead with quick transition play and easy fast break offense. Sophomore guard Renaya Kelly led the way for the Heels in the first half, shooting 80% from the floor. And in the second half, forward Alyssa Utsby dominated, totaling 18 points to go with her 8 rebounds. Charleston Southern guard Catherine Albin flashed on offense for the Buccaneers, but the Heels were able to tighten up on defense and force 21 turnovers. The Heels run away with this one, 83-53. And later that night, over at the Smith Center, the 9th-ranked men's basketball team hosted Elon in their season opener. In a hard-fought first half against a scrappy Elon defense, the Heels pushed ahead to a 12-point halftime lead thanks to triples like this from Elliott Cadeau and high-flying dunks from graduate forward Jalen Withers. But the Phoenix fought back, and after a 12-0 second-half run that left the Heels down 2, it was none other than R.J. Davis taking over late with this floater, followed by a dagger triple to reclaim the lead and put this one out of reach. The Heels opened their season with a 90-76 victory.
So, going into the, once I subbed in, I'm like, all right, the next one's going to go in. I just kept telling myself this is the mindset I have to have because it was getting close and I put too much time and work into my shot for me to stop shooting. So, that was my mindset.
What was the biggest challenge about dealing with their zone aside from
Now, after going undefeated in conference play, it is ACC tournament time for the top-ranked UNC field hockey team. In Tuesday's quarterfinal against Cal, it was the usual suspects like Charlie Bruder and Sana Hawk finding the back of the net for Carolina. Bruder struck twice for the Heels with both goals coming off penalty corners, and the Heels would force 11 throughout the game. Redshirt freshman Hope Haynes got in on the action, using this penalty corner to notch her first goal of the season. And Harvard transfer Avery Donahue put the cherry on top of this one. The Heels cruise 5-0, moving on to face Syracuse in the semifinals this afternoon at 1. Now, after their dominant showing last weekend at Florida State, the conference honors keep coming for the Carolina football team, as running back Omarion Hampton was named ACC Running Back of the Week following his 5-touchdown performance. And over on the defensive side of the ball, Bo Atkinson was named the ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week, unleashing havoc on the Seminole quarterbacks with his 3.5 sacks. And over at Dorrance Field, the Carolina men's soccer team kicks off ACC tournament action with tonight's first-round matchup against Cal. The Heels entered the tournament coming off of a strong regular season where they finished ranked 8th nationally and 4th in the ACC. The Heels will have leading scorer Martine Vitchian back from injury in this one, and he'll join NC State transfer Luke Hilly in the attacking third and look to provide a spark on offense for the Carolina that they were missing coming down the stretch. As for the Golden Bears, they come into this one fresh off of a less than stellar first regular season in the ACC that saw them finish with a losing record. In a rematch of last month's close game that saw Carolina pull away late, the stakes are even higher tonight with a spot in Sunday's quarterfinals on the line. Kickoff at Dorrance is set for tonight at 6. Tune in to Sports Extra Friday morning at 11:30 for an in-depth preview of the upcoming weekend of Carolina athletics. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. We're going to close out full circle and come home to talk about a local issue. The Chapel Hill Streetscape project is set to be finished planning by the end of the year and will include lots of changes to downtown Chapel Hill.
The project itself is a long-term vision planning design with the aims to reimagine right-of-way in downtown Chapel Hill. This would include redesigned sidewalks, bike paths, and other public gathering places. The project is aimed at studying how buses, cars, bikes, and pedestrians move around downtown and how to better distribute those users across the street network, with the goal of making Chapel Hill easier to navigate. Town officials conducted public engagement studies like walking around with members of the community and sending out surveys to get feedbacks on what people want to see changed. Chapel Hill Business Vitality Manager Sarah Potter says there is a focus on making downtown accessible for everyone, no matter your age or mobility.
I went and walked with folks that have low vision and utilize a guiding cane or utilize a wheelchair to understand their experiences downtown and then incorporate that feedback into our design.
There is no timeline currently for the project's construction, as the plan is in its final stages in awaiting town and outside approval.
Now, I'm glad to see that someone is doing something about accessibility issues. There have been so many buildings, like my dorm sophomore year, Avery. We didn't have any stairs, and my roommate was on crutches. She had to crutch up 4 flights of stairs every day. It was
Yes, my best friend lived in Avery last year, and I was on crutches, and I couldn't even get up to go see her some days. And it's a really rough time, but I'm glad that they're working on that. There's also a parking deck, a good place to get in and out of downtown that has been built this year, and we're very excited about that as well.
No, I know, very exciting things. That's all we have today. Stay tuned for more election results and wake up with Rise and Shine here tomorrow at 9 a.m.